talk about living in the wilderness. That's basically what it is. It ain't so much off-grid or homestead or anything like that. It's basically living in the wilderness in primitive conditions. Like I said, I want a well up there, but I don't know if they can get up there to drill a well. So if not, I'll have to use a cistern-type system. They can get a backhoe up there and dig me a hole and bury a tank. Who in the hell knows? That's a hard bunch of people to dig a hole, I guess, with shovels. Watching the dogs act like they're going to get into stuff. I'm going to get out today and do some stuff too. But no, living off in the wilderness is a lot different than just having a homestead and, you drive into town. No, you got to realize it's like 56 miles into a little dirt water town that does have a filling station. And who knows what the gas is, probably $20 a gallon. And it's just it's such a small town. It's just got a bread and breakfast there. It doubles as a bar and everything else. Everything doubles as 2 or 3 things. Post office, the school. It hadn't had a student in it in 3 years because they ain't got no population there. I think there's 45 people in the town and 1 little kid. So they're going to, when it gets old enough to go to school, I guess they'll put a teacher in the school. The school's a church and a school and a whole bunch of other shit things, community center and all that other crap. So really, living in the wilderness, that's 56 miles away, mind you. It ain't like it's right there, If you ain't got no gas, drive 56 miles, you're going to walk a long-ass ways. And I ain't into that walking. Living in the wilderness means you've got to be prepared. It's not like homestead and 20 minutes away is a Home Depot or a Lowe's or something like that. Yeah, okay, that's like, okay, I'm living off grid, okay. How far is it to the nearest facility that's got electrical? 2.5 blocks. There's one guy that I know of. He's got an electric pole on his property, but he won't use it. He wants to go off grid. Well, that's really not off grid. I think there's like 40 or 50 miles of property that would have to be, or poles that have to be laid before I could even get electric up there. That's what I'm saying. It's just, it's living in the wilderness more than just living off grid or living in a homestead or an acreage or whatever. I do intend to have some chickens, and my son said he wants goats. But if I came back here for the winter, I'd bring my 4, 5, 6 chickens with me, just for the hell of it. I'm a dry mouth this morning. That's one thing about having throat cancer, you end up with dry mouth. So you have to get a sip of something. I like sugar-free pop. Caffeine-free pop. Basically, it's just water with some food coloring in it. Basically, about all it is. But no, I want to go up there and just enjoy myself, peace and quiet. And it's really going to be quiet, you know what I'm saying? I want to do some wildlife paintings. I'll take pictures of things, this, that, and other than paint. I'll probably off the picture and memory. I just want to be free of society. I'm sort of tired of the rat race of government and society as a whole. Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, we got this coronavirus going wild. Does people realize how serious it really is? I don't think people do. It's one thing for it to happen to your neighbor, and the other thing's happen to you. So therefore, in the world global system, they're our neighbors. China is our neighbors. It's like when Venezuela crashed. That's our neighbors. It don't matter what continent they are nowadays. In a few hours, you can be there with a plane. So therefore, things can spread pretty fast. It's hard to find isolated spots anymore. I've seen people living on acreages and this, that, and the other, in Arizona. I looked at some land in Arizona. My neighbor was going to be like, I don't know, a couple of football fields away. Well, hell, that's like, that ain't nothing. A couple 100 yards. I mean, in the hell, that's like living in a housing addition or something, an apartment complex. I wanted something severely off-grid, severely in the wilderness. And I finally found a place in Nevada. There's places in Utah. I found some places in Northern California, Oregon, and Washington. But it's hard to find them. It's really hard to find, really, really hard to find them. You try to find a place that's at least 50 miles from your nearest neighbor or any type of civilization, and then tell me what you find. There's not very much. Of course, some people don't want Alaska. You can go to Alaska. I don't like the winters in Alaska. It's too damn cold. Of course, it's going to be cold in Nevada, but it's basically about the same type of winters we have in Oklahoma. So far, I've watched it. And I thought it'd be interesting. I mean, I ain't going to stay up there permanently, but it is a nice place to run to if shit hit the fan. Economy-wise, pandemic-wise, just natural, just bullshit-wise. Just get away from it all. Go up there and stay until it gets better. If it don't get no better, then you should stay up there. That's what my motto is. I'm not going to talk too long today, but think about the way the world is going. Like I said, boy, this camera don't do me justice. I've lost weight, but it sure don't look it. This red shirt sort of flashes out anyway. Anyway, I don't care. That way it'll take me longer to starve to death. Getting supplies up there is been a trick. I've contacted one shipping container place. They said they could put me a shipping container on the moon. I said, okay. They said nothing else but bring it in by helicopter. That'd be a joke. I can see them bringing that thing in by helicopter. Wonder what that cost me. But that's the way I'm going to go, is shipping container. And like I said, I'm mainly going to live open. And like I said, when I seal it up for the winter or whatever to come back to Oklahoma, I'll just lock it up. Ain't going to be much in it anyway with food. Hell, if they're that hungry, they can have it. That'd be my motto. I guess. But think about finding you a place that you would feel secure if the worst scenario hit. That's what I'm saying. And there ain't very many places. People have bought bunkers. I thought about buying a nuclear silo down there in Texas. It's on the edge of Texas to Oklahoma. But after it's found, I mean, you're just like a pigeon in a hole or something. I mean, where you gonna run to? So I decided I'd just go up in the high Rockies and find me a little place, and that's where I ended up. And there ain't much up there, like I said, but there is a lot of it up there to enjoy at my age. Take care, have a great day, subscribe if you ain't subscribed. Should say that shit at the front of the damn video, but I'll say it at the last. Hit the bell. What else? Oh, give me one of them thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever the hell else you can find out to do. I got 2 guys or so that gives me a thumbs down. I just laugh my ass off. I think it's better now. They say watched. They have to watch at least 5 seconds to give me a thumbs down.